One of the things that fascinated me was the human connections in whatever we do. Whether we are doing business, whether we are team members, whether we are designers, developers, anybody, there is one connection or one element that is common in all the transactions, I would say, that is human. I started looking at human to human dynamics and how the human to human dynamics can actually cultivate growth of an individual and of a company. But the story started a bit earlier, and I want to give a brief background about that story. I belong to a family where my grandmother got married when she was 8 years old. Yeah. And that's the reaction I get. And my mother got married when she was 14 years old. When I was growing up, I saw a very clear distinction in my family, between male and female, what jobs are male supposed to do and what jobs are female supposed to do. So, male, of course, goes out, earns for the family, works hard, female takes care of the family, the kids, and everything. While growing up, this did not gel up very well with my so-called Western mindset. People used to call that, okay, she though is an Indian, but she has a Western mindset. So it did not dwell very well with my mindset. And I started thinking, I started asking questions to myself before I went to my parents or my grandparents or anywhere. Now, it was quite obvious that I could not have been just a rebel and say, oh, I don't want it because I'm a female. I want to do something that males in my family do because I think this type of change that is deep driven into your family past 60 years, 100 years, or more than that, it's difficult to change. So I adapted human to human dynamics there. Within this course, within this session, I would like to highlight a few points that helped me become the first person in my family to do a job outside the city, the first person in my family to become an entrepreneur, not male or female, an entrepreneur, to be the first person to travel internationally alone. So, a lot of things that were done for the first time in my family following the human to human dynamics. So, thank you. My passion when I started the company, it involves solving complex problems. And when I say solving complex problems, it means solving complex problems in a simple way, keeping humans in the center of everything. So when I was opening my company, there were lots of questions in my head, lots of uncertainties, lots of dangling things. But one thing that I was extremely clear about was my company will not be built on B2B and B2C, the traditional distinctions. Rather, it will be built on H2H, that is the human to human dynamics. Now, how did we go there? We will cover today a few elements of H2H, which is building real connections, authentic connections, trust and empathy, which is the most crucial part in today's modern business landscape, the essence of human to human, authentic connections, a few real life examples. How do we implement H2H dynamics in work? Measuring the success when you implement H2H dynamics. And of course, the floor will be open for questions as well. Building real connections. If we talk about real connections, I'll take you back to a story. When I started the company, my company, before that, I was working as a chief operating officer in another digital agency. Apart from, because it was a small company, of course, we have to wear certain hats. So apart from being a chief operating officer, I was also developing business for them. I was generating business for them. If you have all heard about a platform called Elance, now Upwork. So I used to get the work through that platform, connect with the customers, convert the customers, build the accounts, do the project, deliver, and maintain the relationships with the customers. So I got connected with a Finnish guy, and he said that he is doing a startup. He is actually getting into a startup, which is an IT startup. He will be doing the sales, and his partner, I would not name him, but his partner would be taking care of the technical delivery. So they were a very good combo, and they asked us to support them in the deliveries, the development and deliveries. We said yes. I connected with him on human grounds. He was a world champion in diving, 3 times world champion in diving, and he was very good athlete. The other person was techie, but I used to connect to this athlete guy. So we connected on human ground. I understood why he wants to switch his career from sports to IT. Why is he interested in sales and so on? Anyways, after having this conversation up and running for 1 month, we started working together. And he came to me very sadly and said, Ranjana, there is a problem. And I said, okay, what is the problem? He said, my tech guy, my tech counterpart, my tech partner has ditched me and he has decided not to get on board to the company. I am left alone. I don't know what to do because I am a sales guy. We are running an IT company. I don't have any tech partner. What should be done? All right, big problem. We need to find a solution. Go find another tech guy. Probably this could be the ideal solution. But his trust was kind of, he was his friend. They were long known to each other. So his trust kind of got into a dangling situation. And he said, I would rather close the company than choosing someone new as a tech partner. So I paused for a while and I said that, okay, you came to us as someone to be your delivery partners. I have the experience in tech industry and delivery both. So I come up with two experiences altogether. Instead of trusting anyone else, trust me, and this is what I can bring on table. So I did not join as a partner. I just remain on the other side as the offshore delivery partner, and we kind of collaborated together. So he used to do sales in Finland. We used to deliver from India. And this whole association worked extremely well with us. It worked to an extent that he became, or his company became, $1 million company within a span of 2 years, and we also grew within the span of 2 years with his sales support. So that was first example that I would say that I built a real connection, an authentic connection with a person on human ground, not on business ground or transaction ground. And I understand that transactions are actually between people. There are two people on the sides, A and B. We need to understand their concerns, their emotions, their needs, their aspirations to be able to connect to them on human grounds. When you connect with someone, you really need to be authentic. You really need to be genuine and open, as human as possible. No sugarcoating, no selling of stuff, no overusing of corporate jargons. Just be yourself. Even if you are vulnerable, just be yourself. Be authentic enough to show your true self to the other who is involved with you in the business as a team member, as a client, as a partner, whoever it is. So the first element of H2H dynamics that we focused on was building real connections, not being robotic, just being human. All right. The second element, which is one of the most important elements of any human to human dynamics or human to human association, is trust. If trust basically is the confidence on the second person about his or her competence, his or her reliability, his or her credibility. If you trust someone, you know that they will live up to the standards, they will deliver what they have committed. When we talk about quality, when we talk about timeline, when we talk about exceptional service, customer service, all things will get attached to the delivery. That equals trust, right? If we say that, okay, I am very open in my communication, I am trusting others and people are trusting me, how does it bring growth to myself, or how does it bring growth to my company? All right. So one of the examples I would take is, it's not just an example, it's actually the series of growth factors that are involved in creating human to human dynamics. So if you are authentic to someone, the person knows that, okay, I'm talking to a genuine person. I am talking to a person whom I can trust, and then you deliver on your trust. You deliver on what you have committed. What are you going to get back? What are you going to get in return from that company or your employee? Anyone? Yes. Loyalty. Yes. Trust. Positive word of mouth. Because if I say, I deliver this, I deliver it to that quality, if I deliver it to that within that timeline, if I deliver it with exceptional customer service, what I get in return is trust, loyalty, positive word of mouth. Positive word of mouth is a tremendous factor in bringing referrals to you without you even asking them. So they become your brand advocates. And when they become your brand advocates, your pipeline grows. Your sales pipeline, of course, grows, right? Apart from that, you also get, when you have an authentic connection with someone, you get feedback, improvement suggestions, because they know when they will give you suggestions, you will listen. You will value their opinion, right? And when you value their opinion, you do not only bring another level of customer satisfaction or customer experience, you are also positioning your organization towards growth, right? So customer feedback leads to improvement of your services, improvement of your company. The next thing that happens with trust and with with the communication, with being authentic, is collaboration and innovation. If, let's say, we work in a company and we have a culture of openness, we have a culture of collaboration, if we are open to tell people to share their views and opinions and everything, what will they do? They will not fear judgments, they will not fear repercussions. They will come on board and they will share ideas that will add value to your organization and that will add value to your customers, because they are the ones who are in frontline or working with your customers, right? How many of you talk to the clients directly? Okay, 3. So it's like, okay, I talk sometimes, I don't. All right. When do you think you feel happy about the customer collaboration? Is there a time when you feel that, okay, this was a great collaboration and this is what I got with this being open, being authentic, or delivering the trust that they have given to me or I have given to them? So what is the level of value that you get out of that collaboration with the client?
During the conversation continues, then all invoices are paid and or
Yeah. Yeah.
conversation
when they tell you things that they're not afraid that you're going to be angry or judge them for that feedback or that input.
Yeah. So when it's kind of a Collaborative environment, it's an open environment. There is no fear of judgment. You know that you can talk, and when you talk openly, you have the platform for innovation. So in my company, if I talk about, we have been into open culture. Now my company is in India, Australia and Ireland. We have a team of around 45 people in India. In India, there, if I'm not sure how many of you have been working with Indian companies, or how many of you have been to India and being part of the Indian companies. When I opened my company, this Finnish partner, I went to Finland for some of the client meetings, and this Finnish partner was sitting on his computer, and he laughed out loud, very loudly, and he said, "Ranjana, there's a very funny article about Indian development companies." And I said, "Okay, is it in Finnish?" He said, "Yes, it is in Finnish." I said, "Okay, can you please translate it for me?" Because I thought it would have been funny, like really funny, but it was not funny. It was a slap on Indian development companies, actually. It said, I will just summarize it in essence. It said, Indian development companies suck. And the parameters of why they call Indian development companies suck is developers never say no. When they want to say no, they say yes. They never deliver on time. Their quality is exceptionally bad. Their communication is so vague and non-transparent. So there were so many big words used in that article that really hit me hard, because I was sitting in India, I was working with a company, and all the developers were Indian. Like, it was like, oh, is it real? So what I did was, in my company, I did a research. I talked to around 25 customers who were all from the West, and I sent them a questionnaire just to understand, is this true? Does everyone believe in the same way? And not to be surprised, the answer is yes. They believe in the same way. People think that we do not provide good quality of service, we are not open in communication, we say yes when we are supposed to say no, blah, 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 blah. What to do now? So I talked to my team and I said, okay, these are the 4 parameters in which we will make sure we will never get a negative feedback on these 4 parameters. The quality of delivery, the communication, the timeline of delivery, and the openness of all the transactions that are happening. So we trained ourselves to the extent that we became one of the top 10 companies in India in the level that we are at. So we cannot compare oranges with apple. We are a 43 people company, but we won 9 awards in a lot of categories last year, which actually demonstrated that we were going on the right path. And all of this because we believed in one thing, that is human to human dynamics. We respected our team members. So one of the reasons why Indian developers say it's designers or developers or leads, it's not developers, to be honest, it's everyone. They say yes when they are supposed to say no. Do you know why? Yes.
We'll do job and we'll promise you and we'll fudge it somehow.
All right. Any other guess?
No one asked them their opinion, what they actually thought of what they were going to do.
Okay. Yeah.
Difference to
Karthik,
authority.
you have any? Sorry.
Difference to authority.
All right. Okay. You're born in? You're born in India? I never worked in India. Okay. This is deep rooted, actually. It's not, this habit is not what they get after they join a company. This is deeply rooted in the education system, because I have seen my brothers and sisters. I did not get slapped in my school, but my cousins, my brothers and sisters used to get slaps in the school if they used to ask questions which their teachers or principals thought, oh, not valid, not good. So people actually get scared of asking questions, of saying no. There are, and in the family as well, the parents decide what is expected out of their career, who they are going to get married to, when they get married, and so on. So it's not just that when a person joins a company, then they say, oh, I will say yes when I'm supposed to say no. No, it does not happen like this. It happens because it is deeply rooted within them. Is it good? No. Is there a solution? Of course, yes. Is India changing? Definitely, on all levels. But if I talk about our age group of people, this is what we have been hearing about Indian development companies, and this is the main reason why we hear it. Anyways, so we focused on these major attributes: quality, communication, delivery speed, and being transparent. We focused highly on it. One of the core things that we focused on was empathy. And how it came to us is, of course, all these feedback that we received from customers. Apart from that, uh, empathy was something that we understood is missing from the development culture or the company culture itself. So you come, you do your job, you go. You come, you nod, you say yes, and you go. You deliver, you don't deliver, you go. But nobody felt the sense of involvement within the company. Nobody thought about understanding and caring are the important aspects of being in a team, being in a delivery team, talking to clients, and so on. These were very, very crucial elements which we engaged our company into and which we always follow when we talk about human to human dynamics. One of the examples about empathy, if we talk about, is I worked with multiple companies or clients, I should say, and every company has their own set of challenges and triumphs. In my second company, before I opened my own company, I worked my ass off, for 7 years, and it was really, really hard that I worked for that company. Donned multiple hats, worked as a product manager, business development manager, team builder, and whatnot. After 7 years, I realized that there is something wrong. There is something that I'm missing. I don't feel like working here anymore. When I analyzed, okay, what is the reason of it? The reason was in last 7 years, my bosses, I have got two bosses, my bosses never appreciated me. They never said one single line of appreciation to me, while we all knew that, okay, I was working hard, I was working good, I was getting them the revenue, I was building a team, everything was going well. So why am I not getting the appreciation? So instead of putting my papers, I went to my boss and I asked them a question that, okay, is there something wrong in my performance? Because I have never listened one single line of appreciation from both of you. To which they replied, now this reply could be funny, this reply could be offending to someone, but they said, how can you show light to sun? You are like a sun to us. You do everything. We do not even feel the need of appreciating you. Which was very shocking because no matter where you stand in the organization, even as a company owner, you want to be appreciated by the people around you. So I decided to leave the company. Of course, this was one of the key reasons, and there were other reasons as well. When I opened my company, the first thing I did is I got appreciation cards printed this size, which said, I appreciate, and then there is a blank area, and then it says from. And I made sure that in my company, during the onboarding process, we tell them that empathy starts from appreciation. You all need to know that, okay, there is this card sitting in the heart of our office. Whenever you feel someone has done something good, grab the card, write it down, and put it on the wall. So that's the change we brought in with empathy. And I can say that one little change, because I experienced a bad empathy environment, that made a lot of positive change in my organization. I'll pause for a while and I'll ask you all, is there any empathy related thing you observe in your company? Do you follow it in your company? Yeah, anyone? Which one it could be?
Yeah, something. One line.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yes.
So we have this thing called kudos.
Kudos. Yes.
Yeah, so basically, like when someone helps someone to get posted, so it's like everyone gets notification.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. We also have a Slack channel called Kudos, the same name actually, hashtag Kudos, in which if someone is not physically present there because we are into hybrid culture now, so we put it on Kudos as well. This is one example of the appreciation card that we have in the organization. So, one of the good examples of being human, being authentic, and how it brings growth to your organization. I always say be empathetic like Chewy.com. How many of you know Chewy? No one? It's a pet brand. Basically, they sell everything related to pets. One of the pet owners sent an email which said, I'll read out if someone cannot read it. Hello, one of my dogs passed 2 weekends ago and I completely forgot to edit my auto ship. Would it be possible to return the American Journey bag once it arrives? The Chewy customer support replied, saying, thanks for reaching out. I'm deeply sorry for your loss. I know this may be hard for you and your loved ones, but please know everything will be okay. What was their name? I know your fur baby brought so many good times and now has left with you so many good memories. My heart truly goes out to you and I wish you peace and comfort during this difficult time. Please feel free to send in photos of the furry friend who stole your heart. I would love to pass them around the office to honor their memory. Rest assured, I have processed a refund for $37.43 and that will reflect back to your bank account in 3 to 5 business days. As for the food, feel free to donate it to local shelter or rescue on behalf of your fur baby. Have a nice day and let us know if you need anything at all. What a classic example of being empathetic. This LinkedIn post or tweet actually received millions of likes and comments from Chewy customers themselves. When you provide exceptional service, which is embedded with empathy to your customers, this is what you get. What you get in return is your customers talking about you, your customers being supportive of you, and that definitely helps you get into an organic, sustainable growth. The third thing that hit us hard and we put it into our H2H dynamics was authentic communication. They don't know that we know that they know we know. So it's a famous thing from Friends. Communication, I feel, as in the manufacturing company, even 1 millimeter, if it goes wrong, everything, even a big ship can get damaged if 1 millimeter goes wrong in your measurement. If we talk about IT, communication is everything. In my company, at least, I would say that I always use this example. Communication is the key to the best associations that you can have with your team, with your clients, with your customers. When we are authentic in our communication, which means we are honest, we are open, we are transparent. No matter if it is impacting us in terms of business, believe me, you're going to get your business back. You're going to get everything back if you're open, transparent, and honest in your communication. So I just recently had the opportunity to get one of the clients, which was lost for 2 years ago. They came back to us and they said that, Ranjana, can we talk again? And I said, for sure. And then they shared that within the 4 years of work spent that we did work with you, the best thing that we got out of our association was an open and transparent communication. With the new team, we are getting hard time because they are not being transparent in communication. They are not being honest in their communication. We knew that one day there are always these challenges when you are open, when you are honest and transparent, things may not align well with your deliveries, with your team, with your work and everything. But in the long run, it is going to pay you back, right? when we talk about communication in brands language, uh, I don't know how many of you have used Walkmans, the walkie-talkies. Yeah, most of the people are young there, so I think they have not used Walkman. Yeah. So when I joined my first job, I was gifted a Walkman by my brother-in-law, which I used to carry in my bus while traveling to office and so on. Suddenly, a wave came, and it said, "1,000 songs in your pocket." And I remember like people had gone crazy that what is it, because everyone is carrying, because at that point of time we did not have smartphones, so everyone is talking about this, something in your pocket, something in your pocket, what is it? The brand did not talk about it's an MP3 player, 5 to 10 GB storage, scroll wheel controller, etc., etc., because this is not human language. Humans do not understand what is meant by 1200 mAh lithium battery. They understand how many hours of battery would it be. So they totally sold it to the humans, making the human connection, saying portable music player, 1,000 songs capacity, easy scroll and select songs, etc., which a normal person like us would always understand and expect. Everyone knows about the sales of iPod here, how it changed the whole music industry, how it changed the mindset of the people who were used to use those Walkmans and everything, and then they were using those iPods. A lot of real life examples I have, but I think we are running out of time. It's already 8:13. So if you have time, please go and search Nike's authentic brand compelling stories, and you will understand one of the most popular brands is Nike, who has embedded H2H dynamics in everything they do, from storytelling to marketing to training club to diversity, inclusion, everything. They have engaged H2H dynamics in whatever they do, and you all know where they stand today. In comparison to a competitor called Pony, so Nike started in 1971 or 2, and Pony started in 1971 or 2, somewhere around the same time. Nobody knows Pony here, I believe, but everyone knows what Nike is today. So whenever you have time, please go and read about Nike's journey. If you want to implement H2H, human to human dynamics in your business, since everything starts with your team, the team is talking to the customers, the team is talking to the other stakeholders, you need to train them on all the levels, on the quality, in the trust, open communication, all the elements that we talked about H2H, you need to train your team on these levels. You will need to do role playing exercises and ongoing education, because H2H is not static. It changes with business landscape, it changes with customer expectations. So we all have to do is we have to train our team in doing so. Other thing is encouraging genuine connections, which means you need to follow customer centric approach, or I would say human centric approach more instead of customer centric approach, to get involved into personalization, to understand the unique needs of the customers or the employees, and empowering your team to take decisions which are beneficial for the customers, and introducing trust, empathy as a core value in your organization. How do you measure the success? It actually depends upon a lot of things. Measuring is what type of positive feedback that you get, and then you analyze the trend that, okay, few customers may say that you care, that's why we like you. Few say that you deliver up to the mark, that's why we like you. So you have all the trends to analyze to measure the success based on the dynamics that you have implemented in your organization or in your team. Yep. Any questions on H2H dynamics? I'm sorry I have rushed in the end because it's late and people must be hungry. And I don't have any QR code, by the way. Please do, yeah. Any questions? Yes, please.
How specifically do you move that culture away from being scared to ask questions, sort of stuck in that, will I get hit if I ask the client whether they want this instead of this, or tell them they can't have this? How do you move that away from the traditional sense?
Okay, so what I did was I first shared a lot of examples what happens when the communication is not open, how screwed up we can be. So I take these weekly sessions with my team to talk about communication, asking open questions, and why it is good for them, the company, and the customer. So it is, I would say, a constant training that is evolved. With evolution, with time, people understand, okay, this is what is expected out of me. So if I say, how do I change the traditional mindset of people not asking questions or not responding in a particular manner? We do it with training, we do it with exercises, and we put them in the front row, we get in the back burner, and we let them do the mistakes. It's okay for them to do the mistakes. If they say no, if we feel that, okay, this is something that they have responded in a traditional manner because they were too afraid of taking the risk, then we tell them, okay, this is how you should have gone in this situation, because if not, this is what is happening now. So it's kind of a process that takes place.
I'll interject here. I had a similar experience, and this was to do with a very technical person that a lot of people need to ask questions. We had a team that were quite afraid of him, but he was a very friendly guy. He just didn't put that front up, and he wanted them to come and ask him questions and feel comfortable talking to him. So he put some packets of Tim Tams on his desk. And these people were from overseas. And every time somebody would come and ask him a question, he'd go, "You want a Tim Tam?" Yeah. Pretty much then, everybody went to ask him questions, bring up things, just so they could walk over to his desk and grab a Tim Tam. It worked very well. So bribery also works.
Duly noted, yeah. That's a good thing to do. Yeah. Anyone else?
It's not a question, but I think you're going to have a lot of support if you can push this around.
Yep.
Because I think most of the places where I've worked or tried to work, tried to be the job, you bounce into this all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And what you said about the question and something you said about, but you are the light or the sun and the light.
Yeah.
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 I thought, yeah, if you're really good,
Yeah.
like you possibly sound like you are,
Yeah.
then people can be a bit afraid
Yeah.
because you know all the stuff.
Afraid to even give you good feedback.
So,
Yeah.
so it's also a tricky journey
Yeah.
for you to. It's all complicated.
Yes. Yes.
Huge cultural shift.
It
Thank
is.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.